Last time on Bardock Tales Kai, after Frieza ordered the elimination of every Saiyan not on Planet Vegeta, Bardock and his men were some of the first to fall to the tyrant in the form of Dodoria. As we learn more and more about the fine details of various events we've become familiar with through the entire Dragon Ball series, we return as the destruction of the Saiyans truly begins. On Planet Kanasa, picking himself up from the dusty ground, Bardock grimaces, feeling a sharp sting of pain coursing through his battered body. Before even opening his eyes to gauge his surroundings, he realizes with a clarity that cuts deeper than his physical wounds what is painfully obvious to us. Dodoria definitely didn't miss with that last attack. His vision blurs momentarily with blood running down his face as he regains his bearings. The desolate landscape of a forgotten planet littered with the remnants of a battle recently fought. He clutches his side, feeling a warm trickle of blood seeping through his fingers. Through the confusion, he still knows he doesn't have much time. Scanning the horizon, the setting sun casts a long, ominous shadow across the land, mirroring the darkness slowly creeping into him. When he hears his name faintly uttered from not far away, he takes Tora in his arms as his life fades away. Barely able to speak, he enunciates that he must warn the king. Their people are in danger. He trusts him. Assemble an army and avenge his crew, even if it's just for pity's sake. This is when Bardock reveals that he knew Frieza was up to something. They must act quickly, but how do they contact the palace? Before spotting Tetepo's scouter, as mentioned before, he had lost it during the initial invasion of Kanasa. Strapping it on, it still works. He dials into the royal palace, beckoning if they can hear him. Bringing us to an anime-only character named Zorn. He appeared only once in one of Frieza's flashbacks. He inquires what he can do for Bardock. He cuts right to the chase, hollering for him to listen. Frieza has betrayed the Saiyans. They must assemble an army and eliminate him quickly. Of course, this sounds crazy on a multitude of levels. Zorn asks if he can be sure of what he's telling him, causing the rebel to scream back, obviously! He sent Dodoria to eliminate them! And if that were the case, Zorn doubts Bardock would still be alive to contact them. Nobody likes Lord Frieza, but they can't take it out on him like this. Bardock knows the repercussions it would have on their people if he or his father were to lose their temper. This refusal to accept Bardock at his word leads the Saiyan to decide that he has to manage on his own. He vows to Frieza that he's on his way. On Planet Vegeta, in the king's palace, Zorn rushes to address his king. He explains that it seems Bardock has gone mad. He claims that Frieza has betrayed them and sent Dodoria to decimate his team. Clearly concerning news to the royal as he stands to question where he is now. And that's the fun part. As his accusations were unfounded, Zorn himself cut off communication with him. He's probably still on Planet Kanasa. Very unwelcome news to his opposite. Frieza didn't want to tell him the reasons for his confinement, but the king also had a feeling he was up to something. Bardock must have drawn on his last reserve of strength to contact them, and must be dead by now. He demands his underling to get his shuttle ready. He will definitely take care of Frieza. Back with, Barry Blue comments that the men are ready to take over the planet. And just in time, Dodoria enters announcing his return. With that, they can get started. When a henchman rushes in and alerts that King Vegeta has entered the ship and is forcing his way through. To which, Frieza only rolls his eyes that you always need a party pooper. He instructs him to open the door. They're about to spend their last meeting together. Furious, Vegeta bellows out that he's going to kill him and eliminate his father. Only to be met with the same smug look on his overlord's face. The Primate King's insubordination is appalling.
Breaking news!
Mediocre YouTuber Mondo Cool was betrayed and attacked by his own left lung, causing a tear in the muscle tissue around the ribcage. As a result, the remainder of his character lines for this video will be performed by much more handsome YouTuber Paul Rising Fish.
Die! I'm the king of the Saiyans. You're nothing but a parasite!
Given the Frost Demon already knows the power difference between the two, he offers that if it's of any consolation, this parasite will take good care of his son once he kills him. He's always dreamt of having a pet monkey.
You filthy!
At the literal point of a finger, the king falls. The villain takes the opportunity to make a point to Zarbon. As he can see, there's no need for transformation, something the henchman must have mentioned to him before. So now, send the men to conquer the planet, prompting his lesser to all strictly comply. On the planet below, it's only now that the powers that be are aware of the betrayal. Not only that, if this is happening, that must mean the king has failed. But they will not be invaded. Zorn commands his soldiers to show that tyrant their might, as various other Saiyans have to find out what's happening the hard way. A group of uniformed troops stand in formation, ready to eliminate all in sight. A uniquely designed soldier approaches Frieza to inform that the Saiyans are putting up better resistance than expected, leading to a jubilant chuckle that they'll tire themselves out soon enough. Either way, the Saiyans are outnumbered and they have the advantage. Little to his knowledge. Bardock is rushing back to his home world. Realizing Frieza's already here, he knows he's gotta hurry. A particularly rapey soldier approaches the Saiyan woman, creepily chuckling for her to give him a cuddle. Gine. Before he can take another step, Bardock appears behind him, causing him far less pain than he deserved and alleviating him the burden of life. He questions his wife if she's alright. She's gotta get down to earth and join Kakarot. But what's he talking about? It's complete chaos here. Why didn't he go to him instead of coming back to this hell? And he thought about that. But if he doesn't eliminate Frieza, their kids will never be safe. Walking away, his pod is configured to not be detected by Frieza. She needs to take it and head for Earth, but avoid other ships like the Galactic Patrol which could detect her. Tearing up, she cries that when he's done with him, go get Raditz and join them on Earth. Again hearing his name called. Zarbon alerts of an elite level Saiyan approaching, and he's shouting specifically Frieza's name. Reports indicate that this is the warrior Bardock, causing a particular sphincter and plead for forgiveness. He was sure he eliminated him. He'll go correct this right away. However, his master relents that there's no need to. He will stay here. Their men are too slow and inefficient anyway. He's going to destroy this planet once and for all. Sure enough, a scene we've witnessed a few times through the series plays out again. There you are! Gine launches into space with the hope of seeing her youngest son again. Unfortunately, Salza spots a capsule that seems to have escaped the radar of Frieza's ship. He questions Cooler if he'd like him to blow it up, with a sneer having to repeat himself. If they shot it, they would be detected by Frieza, but they can't let a single Saiyan get away. He wants them to deactivate the capsule remotely. The gravitational pull will return it to its own planet. While their ship continues to soar out of the atmosphere, a sense of calm flows over Gine as Frieza's ship didn't detect her, just as expected. Why did she stop moving? Being pulled back to Planet Vegeta. She's going to crash! Stumbling out, looks like attack balls have to land a certain way to not injure their occupant. Though asking herself what happened, at least she landed away from the melee. Bardock and Frieza engage in a short conversation. The former wants to know why he's picking on the Saiyans. He's afraid of the legendary Super Saiyan, isn't he? Though he isn't in the mood nor doesn't have time for this useless blah blah blah, as he powers up the blast that'll end the Saiyan race. In vain, Bardock vows that in the name of his pride, his family, and his people, Frieza's going to die!
What?
while going Super Saiyan. Bardock doesn't appear to be in space anymore. What's going on? Where is he? And he wonders what this light is that encompasses him. It feels good. He tries to gather himself. He was fighting Frieza and ended up here. Wouldn't he be dead? Would this place be Otherworld? As he sees something that takes his full attention. This guy, who is he? It looks like he's fighting Frieza, but he looks different. Stepping over to him, Raditz chuckles that he can't even recognize his own children anymore, can he? He's not in Otherworld, but he's not in the world of the living either. A statement that's a bit of a shock to our protagonist. Gine enters to mention that it seems that time here is infinite and ephemeral at the same time, but the universe offers them a magnificent gift nonetheless. What she's saying is that this is a realm that doesn't adhere to our understanding of theoretical dimensions of time and space. Although I'm no Neil Hawkingstein. She tells him to look to the future of their son and the legacy he'll pass on. He'll leave and avenge their people. Their little Kakarot is about to become the most powerful and inspiring of men. When a version of Goku wearing the same gi we've seen him don in his later years places a hand on his father's shoulder, he assures him not to worry. He'll take care of the rest. Giving Bardock optimism for the future as he thanks him. Unable to escape Planet Vegeta, Gine is helpless to stop the incoming blast. She apologizes to her family as she too fades away. With Planet Vegeta meeting its end, how else can the story expand upon the lore we already know? Tune in for the fourth and final part.